Okay. So I thought about this, and if I'm going to do this thing, I thought it would actually be cool to literally show you what I'm starting with, so that as my space gets better, then, you know, you just kind of go on the journey. So right now we're inside of my little shed. I joke about it and I call it the ATF warehouse, which stands for alcohol, tobacco, and fishing. So it's not finished. I've been working on it for a little while. It's a shed that I had. I'll show you the outside in a bit, but I do have the walls mostly insulated. I've got to figure out that last little bay window area, but you know, the long runs, I've got everything insulated. I do have temporary power cord out here so I can run the air conditioner because it's hot. I'm going to close off that space, even though it's a loft. It's not a practical loft for me, so I'm just going to close it off and put an access door and insulate up under the bottom, whereas the rest of the building, I'll insulate the roof to include over that lower loft, and I'll use that loft for storage. But it's a mess in here. I used this for a different purpose in the past, and I moved it to another part of my yard, and now I'm gonna relight my pipe. Shop blend currently is a Granger, good old school codger blend. Cool thing about Granger to me, when you open it up, it smells like Raisin Bran cereal. That's a happy memory smell. Let's see. So what am I going to do out here? Eventually that whole area right there is where I'll build fishing rods. I've got a CBR or CRB, whatever they are, rod building apparatus I'll put there, and my supplies. And then I actually want to go into that end where I have the most natural light and put in a table for tying flies, and probably this wall behind me here is where I'll build a more regular airbrush station for painting lures, because I want to put some ventilation and just snake it out that window right there. You know, put it in the window when I need it, take it out when I don't. Since I started airbrushing back in June or so, I've used this box that came from Amazon. It's literally the box that all of my original airbrush supplies showed up in. So I've been using that. I've done several hundred lures already at this point. Most of them I've given away. This is all that I've kept out of all of them I've done. I've given away a whole lot of them. And we can see here, I have all kinds of blanks for making lures when I get this thing settled out. Let's see if I can do this without like just knocking everything over. Here's some I did yesterday. I kind of like this little number here. It's got some foil on the inside with a pattern on the outside, so you kind of get that iridescent in that pattern. This pattern was a mistake. It's the colors I wanted to use, but I applied them in the wrong order and actually ended up happy with it, so that's kind of cool. I can't say enough about spotted lipless crankbaits. I love them, and this is an experiment. I want to make some spoons for throwing metal down at the coast. So got something like this going on, and I call this one a grasshopper spoon, just because I think it came out kind of cool. But anyway, so that's that. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. No reason to try and tell you everything at one time, but we will step outside so you can see the outside of the little building. And you can see it's also a mess out here because, again, I gotta haul some trash off. If anything, I'm just being realistic with you. So there's the little building. Ain't it cute? And yeah, so maybe next video I'll show you my boat and we'll talk about something else. See ya.